Hi, welcome to our online program on waste management. I am Tamanna, and this is lesson number 3. In the first session, you came face to face with the realities of waste management, followed by the second session where we talked about materials found in common garbage bins and their ideal management, along with innovations that are in place and the gaps that need to be filled. In this session, we will understand important circular economy concepts like life cycle analysis and cradle to cradle design. These are some of the domains where a lot of new opportunities are opening up and a lot more potential for innovation lies. You might be wondering, what exactly is a circular economy and why is it important? Well, let's just dive into it. A circular economy is an innovative economic system that focuses on eliminating waste and continuously using resources. It's quite different from the traditional linear economy. The linear model follows a take, make, dispose approach, where resources are used to create products and are eventually thrown away. As we now know, there is no away really. In contrast, the circular economy is all about minimizing resource input, waste emissions, and energy leakages by creating loops that keep materials and energy in use for as long as possible. At the heart of a circular economy is 3 principles. First, we have design out, waste, and pollution. This principle says products are made to last, be reused, remanufactured, recycled, keeping materials in a loop. Every stage of a product's life aims to reduce waste and pollution. That's the first principle. Second principle, we need to keep products and materials in use. This means extending the product life through maintenance, reuse, refurbishment, and recycling. Here, there's also a shift to product as a service model where items are leased or rented instead of being sold. Lastly, we must regenerate natural systems. This principle involves returning valuable nutrients to the soil and ecosystems, helping to regenerate and restore nature. It also means using renewable energy and sustainable materials to create products and services. Now let's talk about the benefits of a circular economy. Let's start with economic growth as a major advantage. Reducing reliance on finite resources fosters innovation and opens up new business opportunities. Efficiency and reduced waste leads to long-term cost savings as well. Environmental sustainability is another of course, critical benefit. A circular economy practices lower greenhouse gas emissions and reduce environmental degradation. They also conserve natural resources and reduce pollution. And don't forget about social well-being. A circular economy creates new jobs in recycling, repair, and remanufacturing sectors. It also improves product quality and availability through sustainable supply chains. Now, let's look at some examples and applications of circular economy in action. Product design is a great starting point. Imagine smartphones designed for easy disassembly, allowing for repair or upgrades instead of replacement. This extends their lifespan and reduces waste. Industrial processes are also a key area. Through industrial symbiosis, one industry's waste becomes another's raw material, fostering resource efficiency and reducing waste. And how about consumer behavior? Encouraging practices like clothing rentals, second-hand market, and sharing platforms keeps products in use for a longer period and reduces the need for new resources. Policy and legislation also play a crucial role. Implementing regulations to promote recycling, ban single-use plastics, and incentivize the use of recycled materials can drive the transition to a circular economy. Although we have gone through waste management policies in the first lesson, there is one more. One example is Right to Repair by the Department of Consumer Affairs of Government of India. Initial framework for right to repair includes farming equipments, phones, tablets, and consumer durables like fridge or washing machine and automobile. These policies open doors for us to set up repair agencies and become a part of the circular economy. Essentially, a circular economy aims to redefine growth by focusing on societal benefits. It decouples economic activity from finite resource consumption and designs waste out of the system. In a circular economy, upstream and downstream refer to different stages of a product's life cycle, helping to identify opportunities for implementing circular principles. Upstream include early stages like raw material extraction, design, and production processes. Key activities in upstream stage include resource extraction, material processing, and product design, and development and manufacturing. Circular economy strategies for upstream stage involve sustainable sourcing, eco-design, and resource efficiency. Examples of these strategies can be, say, Apple's eco-design, where products are made with recycling and material recovery in mind. And Lush, the brand, uses compostable and biodegradable packaging. Now, moving to the downstream stage, we cover later stages including distribution, consumption, post-consumption, and end-of-life management. Key activities in downstream stage involve distribution and retail, consumption and post-consumption, management, and waste management. Circular economy strategies for downstream stage include product as a service model, recycling and upcycling, and waste reduction. Examples of these strategies include IKEA's take-back programs for used furniture or TerraCycle's Loop initiative, which offers products in reusable containers. To create a comprehensive circular economy strategy, we need to integrate both upstream and downstream activities, creating a closed loop system where products and materials are continuously cycled. Beyond these, there are several other concepts within the circular economy that help guide the transition from a linear to a circular model. Let's go through them one by one. Let's start with resource efficiency and optimization that focuses on maximizing utility and efficiency of resources throughout their life cycle. Extended producer responsibility, EPR, that you know about, places responsibility on producers for treatment or disposal of post-consumer products, incentivizing sustainable product design. Another concept, the sharing economy concept, that reduces the need for ownership and associated resource consumption by sharing access to goods and services. Another concept, industrial symbiosis. It promotes collaboration where one industry's waste serves as raw material for another. Cradle to cradle design, C2C design, ensures products are created with end of life in mind. They are designed to be either biodegradable, naturally biodegradable, or to be recycled into new products. Another concept, product life extension. It extends the product's life cycle through maintenance, repair, refurbishment, and remanufacturing. The bioeconomy concept uses biological resources and processes to sustainably produce goods and services. Treating waste as a resource involves recycling, upcycling, and downcycling materials to extend their usability. Circular supply chains is a concept that is designed for circularity, ensuring materials are continuously cycled back into product processes. Modular design is another one that creates products with components that can be easily replaced or upgraded, allowing for longer product life cycles and easier repairability. Another concept, servitization, that shifts from selling products to offering services that fulfill the same function, like leasing instead of selling. Circular economy business models prioritize circularity, such as leasing, pay-per-use, and product as service models. Another concept is design for disassembly, This concept is to make products easy to take apart for recycling or reuse. Another one, regenerative agriculture restores and enhances the health of ecosystems through sustainable farming practices. Circular cities are a concept of urban areas designed and managed according to circular economy principles. And material innovation develops new materials that are easier to recycle and have a lower environmental impact, or are derived from renewable sources. These concepts collectively contribute to the overarching goal of the circular economy, creating a sustainable, resilient system that minimizes waste, conserves resources, and regenerates natural systems. By understanding and implementing these principles and strategies, we can work towards a future where economic activity is decoupled from the consumption of finite resources and waste is designed out of systems. Now that you have a macro idea of different concepts of circular economy, we will now learn why details matter. While the circular economy is an ideal system to follow, fact is that it's a huge leap and transition from linear economies. These systems are stuck in a loop of wastefulness and resource exploitation. So, no matter which material, product, service, business, or job profile that you pick up, understanding the concept of life cycle analysis will help you make not only sustainable but also practical decisions. You must be wondering, why do we need to go through the entire life cycle when most of the work of waste management seemingly is after the material of product is trashed? Well, that's how it's been, but that's not how it should have been. Waste is generated at every level and step of production and distribution of any product. Similarly, the opportunities to manage it are also required at those very steps. By reducing waste on these stages, we end up reducing the overall impact of the waste crisis. So let's dive into life cycle analysis. In the dynamic field of waste management, professionals are increasingly called upon to innovate and implement strategies that not only manage waste but also prevent it. At the heart of this transformation is life cycle analysis, LCA, a robust methodology that empowers waste management professionals to assess and understand the environmental impacts associated with every stage of a product's life. By applying LCA, waste managers can identify critical points where waste generation can be minimized and more sustainable practices can be introduced. For waste management professionals, LCA offers a powerful tool to inform decision making and drive improvements across the product lifecycle. By identifying stages where waste is generated, LCA enables the development of targeted strategies to reduce waste and find alternatives to traditional linear materials and optimize resource use. This is a systematic approach that not only helps in managing waste more effectively, but also in preventing it and occurring in the first place. Understanding LCA in detail is not possible in one session. But to illustrate the methodology, let's take an example of PET bottle, PET bottle, and a bamboo brush. I'm taking different kinds of products and explaining LCA for both side by side so you can understand the broader idea behind LCA. The objective of LCA, life cycle analysis, for a PET plastic bottle and a bamboo brush with nylon bristles is to assess their environmental impacts, identify opportunities to reduce waste, and improve sustainability. The scope of the analysis includes all stages of the product life cycle: raw material extraction, production, distribution, use, and end of life. The functional unit for comparison is one 500 ml PET plastic bottle and one bamboo brush with nylon bristles. First up, the PET bottle. The inventory analysis begins with the extraction of crude oil and natural gas to produce ethylene glycol and terephthalic acid, resulting in CO2 emissions, water usage, and energy consumption. Next, during production, the inputs include these chemicals and energy for polymerization and molding processes with an output of CO2 emissions, water usage, and waste such as scraps or defective bottles. Distribution involves fuel consumption and produces, again, CO2 emissions and packaging waste. The use phase of this product is negligible in terms of environmental impact, except for potential litter or health hazards. At the end of its life, the bottle ideally undergoes waste collection and recycling processes, again contributing to CO2 emissions by generating recycled PET and non-recyclable waste. For the bamboo brush, the inventory analysis covers the sustainable growth and harvesting of bamboo, resulting in something different. CO2, not emissions, but sequestration and minimal emissions. CO2 sequestration is a mitigation process, which is good. But nylon brushes that are produced from petroleum-based materials involve CO2 emissions and water usage and chemical waste. Next, production. It includes bamboo processing and nylon bristle manufacturing with again outputs of CO2 emissions, water usage and waste materials. Distribution involves, say, fuel consumption and results in CO2 emissions, and packaging waste, which can be biodegradable or recyclable. The use phase has minimal inputs and outputs. At the end of its life, a bamboo handle is composted, while a nylon bristle typically landfilled or incinerated, generating CO2 emissions and non-biodegradable waste. In case landfilled together, we can expect methane generation from bamboo and nylon. Now coming to the impact assessment, let's start with PET bottle. It reveals that there's a significant contribution to global warming potential, resource depletion, water usage and waste generation at various stages. The bamboo brush, while having some environmental impacts from nylon production, the benefits from bamboo's carbon sequestration results in lower overall global warming potential and waste generation. Now, interpreting these results, the PET bottle shows higher environmental impacts compared to the bamboo brush. The key areas for improvement, this is what LCA does. It finds out the key areas for improvement, which can include using renewable energy in production, optimizing logistics, increasing recycling rates, and exploring bio-based alternatives for nylon bristles, for example. Implementing these strategies can significantly enhance sustainability and reduce waste. Embracing the circular economy and cradle-to-cradle principles can further transform waste management by keeping materials in a continuous cycle of use, therefore minimizing waste and promoting resource efficiency. Building on the insights provided by LCA, the circular economy concept presents an innovative framework that you can adopt to further enhance sustainability. Unlike the traditional linear model of take, make, dispose, the circular economy aims to design out waste and keep materials in use for as long as possible. By incorporating practices such as reuse, repair, remanufacturing, and recycling, waste managers can significantly reduce the volume of waste that requires handling and instead transform waste into valuable resources. This shift not only elevates the burden of waste management systems but also promotes resource efficiency and economic resilience. At the forefront of sustainable waste management is cradle-to-cradle philosophy. This approach revolutionizes traditional waste management, viewing waste not as an endpoint but as a resource for continuous cycles of use. Products designed according to C2C principles, cradle to cradle, ensure that every material can either be safely returned to the environment or perpetually cycle through industrial processes. For professionals, adopting C2C principles means advocating for, first of all, and facilitating the creation of products that are inherently designed to minimize waste and maximize resource recovery. Together, these concepts represent a comprehensive strategy for waste management professionals aiming to reduce waste and promote sustainability. Life cycle analysis provides the critical data and insights needed to identify opportunities for reduction and alternative materials. The circular economy offers a practical framework for keeping resources in use and transforming waste into valuable assets. Cradle to Cradle envisions a future where waste is eliminated by designing, promoting continuous resource cycles. And by embracing these approaches, you can lead a way in creating more sustainable and efficient and resilient systems for managing our planet's resources. Let's go through one more product and challenge ourselves to think through proper analysis rather than just something that is assumed. In an era where sustainability is more than just a buzzword, traditional practices often resurface as potential solutions to modern environmental challenges. One such practice is the use of kulhad, the unglazed disposable clay cups, and other clay utensils. These items, deeply rooted in the Indian culture, are lauded for their eco-friendly attributes. However, a closer look at their life cycle reveals a more nuanced picture. Let's go through the life cycle analysis of kulhad and clay utensils to understand the environmental impact of kulhad and clay utensils. It's essential to examine each stage of their life cycle. So let's start with raw material extraction. Raw material extraction. Here, the positive is that clay is abundant and natural, requiring minimal processing. Unlike petroleum-based products like plastics, clay extraction involves less chemical processing. On the negative side, large-scale clay extraction can deplete topsoil, disrupt local ecosystems, and reduce soil fertility. Let's say it's still a better raw material than most. Then what does the production stage say? The second stage is to analyze the production. Positive here is that production of clay utensils supports local artisans and traditional craftsmanship. Firing in kilns, if done with renewable energy sources, can be relatively low impact. Traditional kilns often use wood and other biomass products, leading to deforestation and air pollution. The firing process also emits greenhouse gases, contributing to climate change. Let's say even this comparison to many other productions is less of a devil. What next? Distribution. Positively, typically produced and used locally, reducing carbon footprint associated with transportation. On the negative side, their fragility requires careful handling and can increase transportation if sent somewhere else. And then there's storage cost, which can limit the practicality for widespread commercial use. Let's say we come to the stage of usage. What happens here? Clay utensils are sturdy and can be reused multiple times. Kulhad often single-use, decompose naturally without leaving harmful residue, unlike microplastics. On the negative side, the single-use nature of kulhad leads to waste generation. Their fragility means they can also break easily, increase waste. For this, I'll give you an example. In 2020, the Indian Railways announced with great enthusiasm that the tea will be sold in kulhads at a lot of railway stations. The decision to implement the use of kulhad was done as it was considered eco-friendly, was expected to generate employment and help reduce usage of plastic. However, many environmental experts simply pointed out to the fact that tea is a quick affair. That means 2 to 5 minutes of quick use for a product that uses a lot of resources seemed unjustified to them. Estimated amount of use of a product is very important fact in a circular economy. And so, after days of extraction, production, distribution, 5 minutes of use and throw is a valid reason to find this negative. However, the same clay utensil when used for storage and cooking negates the negative impact because it's used for longer. The LCA is not over yet. Let's go through the end of life. The positive here is kulhad and clay utensils break down naturally in the environment, avoiding the long-lasting pollution, like I said, associated with plastics. On the negative side, they do not enrich the soil like organic matter. In some cases, improperly fired kulhads might contain harmful residues. Most of us would not notice this and even ignore it, for it seems a better alternative. But end of life is where the minds of waste professionals charge up. So that's something to think about, isn't it? I'll ask you a question. Is kulhad truly eco-friendly? While kulhad and clay utensils offer several environmental benefits and their sustainability is still complex, they are indeed more eco-friendly than plastic in terms of biodegradability and non-toxicity. However, the issues of soil depletion, energy use in production, and their single-use nature, when used like that, raise questions about their overall sustainability. In this session, you took a look at life cycle of products and understood that to be able to make it into a circular economy model, many aspects need to be considered. By following these steps, as a professional, you can leverage life cycle analysis to gain comprehensive insights into environmental impacts of products, identify opportunities for waste reduction, and promote the use of sustainable materials. This proactive approach not only aids in effective waste management, but also supports broader environmental and sustainable goals. I'm saying that from experience. In the next session, I will give you a few tried and tested methods to align your career and passions in a way that benefits you and the world. So I'll see you next time. Thank you.